Good morning there. Good morning, everyone. You're on the Loved Again and Forever community. My name's Ali Reiner, and it's actually way after midday. It's midday and 11 minutes. And I am so excited, as I promised. Today is launch day. I've been talking about it for the last week or so, something that I've been thinking about. I've, not just recently, it's something that has come up again and again and again. Say hello when you pop on so I can say hello back. It's been coming up again and again and again when I work with clients. And, most of the time when when a client comes to me, or when somebody comes to me looking for advice on their marriage, very often it's a communication issue. And when we dig deeper, it's not, it's a communication issue, but it goes deeper than that. And it is really the inability to ask for what you want and to put boundaries in place that allow the other person to know when they're overstepping the mark, and to keep you safe from yourself effectively. And it's come up again and again and again. And it seems like a good time to really face it. It seems like a really good time to get clear on what it's costing you. Hence the launch of Boundaries Bootcamp. Now, why now? It's a great time of year, apart from anything else. This time of year is one of the best times to really set intentions and put them into action, to turn those dreams into goals and actually start to make plans and work on them and turn them into your reality. We all, on the 1st of January, we all come up with these, New Year's resolutions. I don't know about you, but if I do, by the 9th of January, 99% of my resolutions have gone. Whereas I know that this time of year, and I don't know, maybe it's just because, I've got kids and I sort of, my life runs by school. But I don't think it's that. Speaking to other people, I know that this is a great time to really settle down and set intentions and get clear and get movement. Hence the reason I'm launching the Boundaries Bootcamp. Now, what can you expect from it? Well, I'm not going to go into huge spiel on it because, if you've followed anything, if you're interested, there's lots of information about here. You will find the all the information you need if you click on the link below this this live stream or this video if you're watching on replay. But what I will tell you is it is incredibly difficult to change a behaviour until you actually recognise what that behaviour is costing. So the place that we start is really understanding what this people-pleasing or codependency or, whatever it is you want to call it, however you resonate most with it, what it is in your life and what it's costing you. So in terms of, your relationships, it puts barriers between you and other people, of course. It also puts, it also really interrupts, it is an interrupt in the relationship you have with yourself, because whilst you're saying yes to other people, you're saying no to yourself, unless you have those strong boundaries in place where you fill your own cup first, and then when it's overflowing, you have enough to share with other people. And 99.9% of us don't do that. We're all guilty of giving too much to other people until the point that we're running on empty. Sometimes, it really, it goes to extremes where we never put ourselves first. We feel guilty about putting ourselves first. I'll give you a really stupid example. Yesterday, I was hanging up the washing. Now, this is ridiculous, but this is how our minds can work. I was hanging up the washing and I was hanging up t-shirts and shirts and things. And there weren't enough hangers for the number of shirts that I had. And I picked my t-shirt up and I put it on a hanger. And as I was doing it, I had this little pang of guilt. Now, doesn't that sound ridiculous? All I had to do was go from go into my room and pick up more hangers and hang the rest of the things up. But I chose to put my t-shirt on a hanger before the rest of the family's. And I could feel that I shouldn't be. I should be putting them first. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It doesn't change the world. But if you're not aware of your thinking, you can't possibly change it. So unless you're aware of your thinking, unless you're aware of what it's costing you, and how on earth can you hope to change your behaviour? How on earth are you ever going to step up and say, okay, enough is enough. What do I need to do? So that's the first place that we start. We start there, understand what that people pleasing is. A lot of times we think it's extreme. We think it's not being able to say no to other people ever, ever, ever. And it can be a lot subtler than that. And that was one example, one very stupid example. It doesn't change anyone's life. But it was something that I became aware of and laughed at. How ridiculous. Nobody knows for a start, but me. And it's not going to change anyone's life. Another one, I asked a client of mine when I as I often do, I ask people, I reach out to people if I've written a blog, or if I've written, if I'm launching something, I'll quite often reach out to friends or clients or people and ask them if they would share this information for me, because it may, recommendations always work better. But it may reach somebody in their network that needs to hear this. And I asked a client if she would share, and she said no. Now that's fine. If it doesn't resonate with you, that's absolutely fine. But she said no, because I don't want people to know that there's anything wrong with my marriage, that, I'm in your group for, and people might then judge me. It's absolutely fine. I don't have a problem with you saying no. What I do have a problem with is your reason. Because what you're effectively doing when you're saying, no, I can't because other people may judge me, is you are handing your power to somebody else. You're taking your life and you're saying, I will live my life based on what I think other people are going to think of me. Therefore, I won't, it's a very stupid, example in terms of it doesn't really change anything. But, if you magnify that, how many other things are you not doing based on what you think other people may think of you, based on what you may believe that other people are judging you on? So, that is part and parcel of this codependent people pleasing that we have going. We live our lives based on a hypothetical judgment of other people. Now, most of the time, other people don't give a damn about us. They don't have time. They're so busy with their own fear on what other people are thinking of them that they don't have time to think about us. And if they do, well, it's none of our business. Yeah, and that's something that keeps us really stuck. It really keeps us from living to our full potential. I don't do something because other people might not agree with it. It can be as simple as not posting somebody else's link on your page. It can be as stupid as hanging the family's washing up before your own. But it can be that I do not do what I want to do because somebody else might judge me, or somebody else might not agree with my life choices, my career choices, my relationship choices. So therefore, I limit my own happiness to accommodate somebody else's judgment or somebody else's beliefs. So once you're clear on that, once you're clear on how you're reacting to other people's behaviour, other people's thoughts, or other people's or even your perception of what that could be, that's the first stage. Then what's it costing you? What is it costing you in terms of how you're living your life, how true you're being to yourself, how happy you're being? Because let's be honest, if I'm living my life based on what I think other people think of me, I'm not being very true to myself, and I'm going to miss out on an awful lot of what really resonates with me. Another example for me, and I realised this only at the beginning of this year, I love music. I've always loved music, but I've got a very particular taste in music. I grew up in Glasgow in the 80s, late 80s, beginning of the 90s, where there was a huge music scene. It was so powerful. I went out probably 5 nights a week to listen to bands playing. Um, and I love that type of music, and that type of music really lights me up. But it's particular, and my husband doesn't like it. So for the longest time, I wouldn't play it because every time I did, he rolled his eyes. I was missing out on so so many light moments, because that music for me, what it does is it takes me out of the heaviness. It takes me back to a place where I feel free, and I feel, that the world is limitless. Um, and I'd given up on that because because I didn't want to be judged by my husband, because I didn't want my music to be judged and therefore me to be judged. Again, it's stupid, but I missed out on it, on a lot of uplifting moments, until I realised. And I have to say, now I'm like one of those teenagers when I'm doing my shopping, or when I'm doing whatever. I've got my earphones in and I'm bopping away, and and it's that simple. So what's it costing you? That's the next question. Then, you know, looking at the relationships, is it across the board? Sometimes your personal relationships are absolutely fine. Sometimes it's authority figures that send you scurrying into this sort of people pleasing or codependence. I need my boss to like me. I need to please my boss. So where is this issue most active? Where are you going to have to address it? What is that dynamic between you and these people? Getting clear on that. That way we can start to rebalance the relationships. Then, of course, we will look at tools that you can actually use to start smashing this codependency, starting to get rid of it, starting to transform it into something else. And that becomes with awareness. As I say, I became aware of myself hanging up my t-shirt first. Ridiculous, isn't it? But if I'm not aware of it, one, I can't change it, and two, I can't laugh at it. And I can't really question, is it going to change anyone's world, anyone's life? And then, from there, once you started to learn those tools, we can start looking at your boundaries, because often the boundaries that we have in place don't really resonate with us. They're boundaries that society has given us, or her family have given us. We've picked them up as we've gone along. We've taken, okay, that sounds like it should be what I'm upset about, or where I should have a boundary. And often it's not. Often it's got nothing to do with our own core values. Once you know that, you can start adjusting your boundaries. You can start bringing them into place. The other thing is, often people say, oh, I've got no boundaries. Everyone's got boundaries. There is a point where everybody will say enough. Sometimes they're miles away from us. Sometimes, we need some binoculars to see them, but they're there. Think about that. Think about the things that you just say, no, that is a step too far. And then you can see how you bring those boundaries into place. And then, of course, finally, what we're going to do is start implementing boundaries, start putting them in, start practicing with them. And of course, the way to do that is never going to be, with the big the big mirror problem. We start gently out there a little bit, with people that we don't really mind if they don't like us. We don't really mind if they react badly, or we mind less than we do with those, with the people that are close to us, or the big, power figures in our life, whoever it is that you're having problems with. That's what we're going to be covering. Why am I doing it as a group? Well, very simply, we learn so much more when we hear other people's experience. When we hear how other people are struggling in the same way as us, one, it makes us feel less alone, less, less freakish, if you like. God, it's only me. And I always felt that. I always felt it's only me, and everyone else knows how to live their life. Everyone else is coping. Why can't I? It's not like that. So when you're in a group setting, you really get a sense that you're not alone. I think also you learn much faster when you're working together, and it also gives you the courage to practice amongst yourself, to hear other people's perspective, to see how other people are approaching, get ideas, and really to feel that support, that somebody else has got your back, or lots of other people have got your back. You're all in it together, looking for that transformation. So that's the reason I'm doing it in a group. It's going to be 6 weeks live. If you can't make the sessions live, of course, there'll be the recording, which is equally powerful. Ask questions beforehand, and I always make sure that I answer them during the course of the coaching session. The very special part is that for this group only, and for anyone that signed up onto the waiting list, there's a price of $247 US for the 6 weeks. It's available from now. The link is on the side. It's available from now until Saturday at midnight. So 48 hours, a bit more than Sunday at midnight. That's wrong. Sunday at midnight, because that's 48 hours. Bit more than 48 hours, to be honest. It's 36, isn't it? It's available only in this group and only for those available on the waiting list. It's not available outside anywhere else. It won't be available to anyone outside. Then the cost will go up to the full cost, which is $397, which frankly, to transform your life, is a bloody good deal anyway. But $247, I really think, is a no-brainer. If you get any questions, as you know, I'm always available to answer them. If you are wondering whether it's for you, ask. If you're wondering whether you're a people pleaser, ask. The other thing is, a lot of people find themselves in this situation, but it doesn't really affect their life. They won't need this program. And it's really only for those people that are looking to really, really make a difference in their life, really to take responsibility for their happiness, to recalibrate all their relationships, because that's what happens. When you put boundaries in place, they're not in place to keep other people out. They're in place to keep you safe from your own thinking. I was speaking to somebody yesterday who has huge amounts of qualifications. She's got qualifications dripping off her, but she's struggling to ask for money for her services. And she was saying, how can it be that I've got all these qualifications and I can't ask for money for it? Well, because you've never asked for money, and because you are, I've kind of lost the train of my thought there. Can't remember what I was talking about before. That's what happens when I talk too long. But basically, I'm not even going to go further forward with that. If it comes back, I'll pop the thought in the comments later, but I'm not going to go on with it because I can't remember exactly where I was going, where my mind was going with it. That's my ADD for you. So anyway, yeah. Sign up before midnight on Sunday for $247. If not, it goes up to $397. And yeah, what can I say to that? Still a great deal, but why pay more when you don't have to? We will start in October. As I say, you can join live, you can join the sessions live. If not, you always have the recording. I will set up a little private Facebook group. Some people like it, some people don't, but it's a place that, I can drop all the information in, and you can throw your own thoughts in. Otherwise, I think I've pretty much covered everything. And I think there's something there for everybody. So I really hope you jump on board, apart from anything else. Have a great, great weekend. Take care. Bye.